All right, it is the Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 115, I believe. So nailed that. I guess technically our last one, I believe, was May 28th. So we only took a month. It's not bad.
Okay, that's not bad. It
Not
feels
bad
like
at all.
6 years, but
Yeah. So the last time we spoke on the podcast was the Matthew Meyer pickup. I wouldn't say a lot's happened since then, but some things have happened and some expected things that have happened.
yeah. I guess we'll start off with the big news that dropped yesterday. Illinois lands Zachary Perrin.
He's French, I guess, right?
Sounds correct. Do you roll R's in France? I don't know. Anyways, this kid, 6'10", 6'11", depending on who you talk to. Only 17 years old, so they're talking about how he'll be one of the youngest players playing NCAA next year. I saw a little video on him. Don't know much about him. UCLA, Texas, and Memphis were all going after this kid, so that's got to be a good thing. Illinois beat them out. Last year in the under-21 division in France, he averaged 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Shot around 60% from the field. All good things. Do you think he plays?
I mean, I think a lot of this is going to depend on what they have at the 5 or at the 4, because I think it depends on probably what you see from Hawkins and Danger. And if, you need guys behind him, I mean, is Brandon Lieb still here? Okay. Yeah.
I think he's working for a starting spot. So
I think this guy's probably got a better shot to play over Lieb, I would think.
Probably.
But this is probably, his numbers look so good. It's probably a situation where you pump the brakes a little bit in terms of what you expect at this level. But the fact that he averaged those numbers as a 17-year-old in a 21 and under division is pretty impressive. My first instinct was to say he's not going to play, just because I feel like the roster has so many. That's
not exactly what you said, but
I said he ain't going to play or whatever, and then you said why, and I said he stinks. That was just first reaction. I haven't been paying attention.
First reaction, yeah. I mean, he looks good. I mean, he's tall, he's lengthy, he's a lefty. So I think it's a guy you take a chance on. My brother was texting me and said that he saw that this kid was 6'4", and then he shot up 6 inches. So he does have some, handling ability. From what I saw in the highlight reel, it still looked a little iffy, but of course, when you grow 6 inches, your handles are going to change over time. But yeah, I guess the big question is, some people are saying he should redshirt. Some people think that he's going to get good playing time. We've seen Brad, didn't trust the freshman as much last year. I don't know if he's going to trust a 17-year-old as much too. I don't think he's going to redshirt. I think probably a big part of Illinois getting him is Brad said, "You're going to play here." Maybe these other schools were like, redshirt a year, see what happens. But hey, we'll see. It seems like a good pickup from what you can see. Who wanted him and stuff like that.
But pump the brakes on what we might see from him this season. I think a lot of people kind of their first reaction is that he's going to play a lot, and that's probably because they're not really thinking about, like, the entire time we talk about how deep this roster is. So I think that's a big deal.
And he's got a bunch of guys ahead of him right now is what it looks like.
Now, is Lieb ahead of him is the big question, I think, that people want to know.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think you throw Lieb out there in front of him. So when Lieb comes out 280 this year, you're going to be like, wow, that dude's massive.
Next Kofi.
The next Kofi coming in. So I guess Illinois is probably going to leave that other scholarship open, but they filled one more spot. They do have one open. Again, Brad said he likes to keep one, so I'm assuming that we'll keep one. But we'll see what happens. On to guys that are gone. Huh?
Yep.
Kofi.
A lot of them.
Kofi goes undrafted. He signed with the Jazz. I think everybody expected this, right? I don't think
anybody expected him to be drafted at all.
Right.
So
so I don't know what this means. He's going to play summer ball with the Jazz, I assume.
Now I'm being told that Kofi and Johnny Juzang are going to be Kobe and Shaq in the summer league.
Okay.
So we'll see. Something to watch.
Excited to see that. But yeah, so this is what he wanted. He wanted to go to the league. He's signed in the league. And,
are you surprised he didn't sign with the Bulls? Because he made it sound like he was going to sign with the Bulls.
I think he really wanted to be with the Bulls. Maybe the Bulls didn't want him.
That's probably the case. But yeah, I don't know. The Jazz are a team that have played a lot of kind of obscure rookies over the last few seasons, I think. They like to play guys that didn't make it with the first team. And like, for example, for all you NBA fans out there, a little NBA talk for you. Royce O'Neal didn't make it with his first team. He was a big college player, and Jordan Clarkson was good with the Lakers, but then he became a big player with the Jazz. So the Jazz have like weird roster. The way they go about their roster is a bit obscure, but so maybe that's a good thing for Kofi. Maybe him and Juzang will be Kobe and Shaq, and they'll win the Summer League title, and then he'll make the roster. If not, I would assume he'll just sign another 2A with somebody, or maybe go overseas. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a possibility. This is a
perfect transition into overseas basketball.
Yeah. Did you want to talk any more about the draft and Big Ten guys, or you just want to?
I did, because I did write that down.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot about that.
Go right ahead.
But it's right in front of me, as you can see here.
I'll say hi to Steve. Steve's here.
Yeah,
like always, we appreciate
absolutely.
you, Steve, for stopping by.
So the Big Ten, 9 players, unless I missed one, were drafted in the NBA draft. So that's 9 seems like a lot, I would say. And there's still some out there that could have been picked as well. You look at, Kofi could have been picked. He wasn't gonna be picked, but like Gabe Brown from Michigan State could have been picked. Trevion Williams, did he enter the draft? I can't even remember. I think he did, though.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes,
he could have been drafted. So you had the first guy off the board, and if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that Keegan Murray would be the 4th overall pick in the NBA draft, I would have been like, don't talk to me again.
Right.
Yeah, unbelievable. And people are kind of down on him at the next level, which I kind of understand, but how much of that is based on whether this was like a once in a lifetime season for him at Iowa, or whether he was terrible against Richmond in the tournament, or I don't know what it is. I always thought he could transition well because he's athletic, he can shoot.
He has the body size for it. Maybe just defense and the, I don't know, power.
Well, he's going to a hellhole franchise. The Kings are a joke. So that's not good for him. That's why I think this is great. Jaden Ivey, perfect spot for him at 5 in Detroit. Him and Kate Cunningham will be electric for sure. So he goes number 5. People love Ivey. I know that. He was like, you look at the Big Ten, everybody loved Ivey coming out. So that's the number 1 guy.
We got a comment real quick, and then we'll go back.
That.
Did the Illini try hard to get Pete Nance? I think after Meyer came, they kind of stopped on him, but they were going after him hard at one time.
I get the sense that they were kind of equally going after Meyer and Nance. And
like
we kind of thought whoever they get, and then whoever they don't get's going North Carolina. So that's exactly what happened.
They were basically interchangeable on the talks. So
number 10, Johnny Davis, America's sweetheart, Taco Bell or whatever he's doing.
And then the next pick in the NBA draft,
Wizards.
Taco Bell takes Johnny. I can't come up with something clever. Davis.
Yeah, he goes to the Wizards, so whatever.
Yeah.
People like him too, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. Maybe I'm basing too much of this off of what I saw from him in college. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Unsurprisingly, Malachi Branham goes 20 to the Spurs. Branham, I think, will be a stud, but I think it's going to take him a little bit. But I think he's going to the perfect place to develop in San Antonio. Then you had, let's see.
Second round, right?
Yeah, but real quick before we get to that, the Spurs also took Blake Wesley at 25. Notre Dame, we saw him earlier in the season. I think he's going to be a stud. I think he could have been like an All-American at Notre Dame if he stayed another year. So that's kind of big news for them to lose him, but who cares? Yeah. It's Notre Dame, right? Okay. Notre Dame got to the second round, didn't they? Yeah. Well, Alabama, Quinterly got hurt right away in that game, and then Rutgers choked. Anyway, Caleb Houston goes 32 out of Michigan to the Magic, so he'll join Franz Wagner in Orlando. They won't ever be good. Max Christie goes 35 to the Lakers. I think he could probably be like a 10th or 11th guy there probably right away and play, because they need, like, they're a team that spends all their money on 3 guys, so they're going to need those role players to step up, and this could be a good spot for him. He didn't show that much of Michigan
Lakers
State.
running 10 deep. Gotcha.
Well, when LeBron and Anthony Davis are hurt in December, then they're going to need to get some guys in there, which we know inevitably will happen. I think it's kind of surprising, and this is another off-topic thing, another Spurs pick. Kennedy Chandler falling to 38 seems pretty surprising to me. I feel like he could have been a top 20, top 25 guy. So that was interesting. Then at 40 and 41, you had back-to-back. T-Wolves take Bryce McGowan's out of Nebraska at 40, and then E.J. Liddell goes to New Orleans at 41 to compete with Zion, obviously, for the starting power forward position, right? And then Diabate out of Michigan goes to the Clippers at 43, and then I think that is it.
That looks like it.
So, I mean, not a bad draft for the Big Ten. Solid.
Yeah, I think that's a good, 9 guys.
9 guys. Oh, jeez.
Wake up, everybody.
That is 9 guys with 2 of them that didn't get drafted, being Kofi and Trevion Williams, who we know, especially Kofi, probably don't transition as well to the next level, but that's 2 of the best players in the conference going undrafted. So I think that's another thing that you got to take away from this. And then Gabe Brown, I thought, could have been a solid pick as well for somebody. He goes undrafted out of Michigan State. So some players that could have been drafted that go undrafted. And it makes me wonder, when you have 2 of the better big men in the country with Trevion Williams and Kofi going undrafted, I wonder what we see with Hunter Dickinson next year. Like, when he probably leaves next year, does he get drafted? I mean, probably, because he can shoot. I think it depends. If he's National Player of the Year, then he's got to get drafted, right?
Yeah, like 45th is my guess.
The way that they evaluate talent's a very weird thing, but you never know.
Sure.
All right, we can move on from the NBA because nobody likes the NBA for the most part.
I agree with that. Anyways, basketball people do like the ABA League. Trent Frazier is signed with the ABA League. I think he's still doing tryouts for teams in the NBA. I think he can still get out of it. I don't know. But he will be going overseas and playing with the FMP Belgrade, whatever that is. So,
I mean, good luck, right?
Yeah. Hey, still playing basketball. Haven't heard anything about Plummer yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with him. I'm guessing he'll sign with an NBA team just because of his shooting. But we'll see. Grandison goes to Duke. Were you surprised?
Not surprised that he left. Maybe a little bit surprised that he went to Duke, I guess. I don't know. I feel like he's going to be probably a perfect fit in terms of being a role player for them. I think he'll be a good fit there because they already have a ton of talent on that team, but it's a lot of freshmen next season. Yeah. So, and that Duke team last year must have won a title with how many players they got drafted. That's very impressive.
You would think, right? You would think. I think I think it'll be a good fit for him. Keep stepping up in his career. I would say Illinois to Duke is a step up. I don't know.
I mean,
but good for him. I wish him the best of luck unless Illinois plays him.
Do you guys remember when Coach K lost to North Carolina in the Final Four and then he retired? Do you guys remember that? That's pretty awesome.
I didn't even know he was going to retire this year.
I know. He never even said anything about it. That's kind of weird how that works. And then he says he won't be in any games next season, which I call total BS on.
Yeah.
If he's not at the game, he'll have an earpiece for Shire telling him what to do the whole time.
Coaching from the stands, huh?
Yeah.
Coaching from home. I like it. All right. On to guys that are coming. And, games coming up this year and what we found out so far. Ty Rodgers made the top 12 of the under 18 USA team. So congratulations to him. They went on to win gold by smoking literally everybody in the what's this called? Junior Olympics? I don't even know what it's called.
I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, he played well. He didn't do a lot of scoring. They had Cam Whitmore and who was the other guy? Somebody else that averaged like 30 points a game. But he did show a lot. His defense, his passing, always looking for like a shooter or the best shot for the team. Things you want out of a good teammate, which I think I know you're really high on Ty Rodgers. You think he could work his way into this in a starting spot?
I don't see why not.
Yeah. So, 13 of 18 from the field. So pretty good percentage. Ty did say before he got picked, quote, I just want to continue to show my overall game. Just keep showing that versatility and keep showing I am a lock-up defender. I feel like there's not too many players like me that can do the things I do that do all of them. It makes me unique. So good work for Ty Rodgers.
Now, I think the beginning of the season, you're probably going to view him as like the 6th or 7th guy, probably.
You think?
I would think so. Well, I feel like he's ahead of Danger, I think. And I think he's ahead of Goody. So
I mean, people had Danger in the starting 5.
I mean, are you going to not start Meyer or Hawkins? I feel like you kind of have to.
I agree.
So as of right now, I think it's Sky Clark, Terrence Shannon, RJ Melendez, Matthew Meyer, Coleman Hawkins. That's what I think. And then after that, 6 and 7 is Danger, Rodgers, one of the two combinations. And then you have Epps in there somewhere, Goody in there somewhere. I guess Sincere Harris is going to play.
We'll see.
He kind of seems like the Pajimski of last year. If I had to guess, maybe he'll come in and look really good, and then Brad will just forget it that he exists.
shove him down there by Brandon Leave and never remember that he's on the team.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
I got you. All right, on to basketball, schedule stuff, things like that. Illinois gets invited to the Jimmy V Classic, so they will play Texas at Madison Square Garden on December 6th. Big game. Illinois has some games this year. They also they announced this week they're playing Syracuse in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. That game will be at home, I believe.
Yeah, so this is going to be great because number one, it's always nice to go back to MSG and where Illinois beat Maryland a few years ago. I was at Io's freshman year, I believe. The team was just horrendous, but it's all right. Got that win. That's good. But yeah, going to MSG, it'll be a good game. Texas, a good team. Chris Beard's second year there. I think their roster is going to be interesting. You're going to get to see Marcus Carr again. They're going to have a really good backcourt with Marcus Carr and Tyrese Hunter. Hunter, of course, the transfer from Iowa State. But they're going to be solid. They'll be solid. So it'll be a good opponent to take on. Then Syracuse is likely going to be terrible, I feel like. So as Boeheim continues to limp into retirement, I don't think that's going to be much. I can't
imagine Syracuse is going to be great, but there's still a Boeheim boy there, right? Buddy's gone. What's the other one? He's better.
Jimmy, is that his name? That seems right.
I don't know.
I think it is. But
and I think they announced yesterday the Gavitt games. Illinois will not be playing in the Gavitt games. They were left out with Rutgers, Maryland, Ohio State, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Not really surprised by this move. They got a lot of good games to play, so adding a Big East game in there probably would have been tough. So
lost to Marquette last year. We don't want to play that again.
Yeah. So those are the invites. Let's tell you about the schedule as we know it right now.
Yeah, I feel like, the schedule as of this very moment is non-conference wise. You're going to have a lot of legitimate opponents. I'm sure you'll have the
something Illinois hasn't done a lot lately, right? I mean, when was the last time Illinois had a non-conference schedule like this?
A billion
years?
Never.
Never. I'm going to go with never. Okay.
Well, last year was supposed to be hard if they could beat Cincinnati, then they get to play Arkansas. They played Arizona.
Yeah.
They did play Baylor and Duke. Duke wasn't any good a couple of years ago, but so that happened. But they got the Roman. Is it the Roman main event in Las Vegas?
Yep.
I guess that's with Virginia, UCLA, Baylor.
Yeah, I don't think they've announced the schedule for that, but they're going to play one of the, two of those teams.
Yeah.
So, and currently, I believe a lot of people have Virginia top 25, UCLA top 10, Baylor top 10 right now. From what I've seen from, talking heads who, some know their stuff, some don't. anyways.
So that means that basically Illinois will be viewed as the worst team of those 4.
I think so.
Preseason. So
I think they're going to go into that. Yeah, as underdogs. So
they got that. Is that just the same setup as the thing in Kansas City last year, Hall of Fame Classic?
I think it's just 2 games. I think you play somebody on Friday and you play somebody on Sunday.
Is it based on anything?
I don't think so.
Like you don't play a loser or winner or anything?
I don't think it's tournament style.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess that Illinois plays UCLA and Virginia. That's my guess. So you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Yes. So that'll be November 18th and 20th is what I read, but I don't know if that's right. Let's be honest. It is, yeah. Friday and Sunday. Okay, yeah. So nailed it. Was all over that. So they got that, and then they have the, like we said, MSG Jimmy V Class against Texas on December 6th, and then November 30th, Big Ten ACC Challenge against Syracuse. That's a home game. And then I was going to abort the Big Ten opponents thing for now because we are talking about that later.
You can do it now. Go ahead.
All right, we'll throw it in there. Why not? Okay. Home and away in the Big Ten this season. Illinois will play 2 games against Indiana, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Penn State, and Wisconsin. And then they'll play home only and away only. Home only against Michigan, Michigan State, and Rutgers, and then away only against Iowa, Maryland, and Purdue. So all things considered, this is very favorable.
Yeah, I think you texted me and said this is a cupcake conference schedule or something like that.
Embarrassingly easy.
Embarrassingly easy.
Yeah.
So they got a shot to do something. We'll see if they do. That's the question. And we'll answer that a little later. So,
it's also
it is a favorable Big Ten schedule, though. There's no doubt about that.
The 6 teams that you're playing one game against are probably going to be good to great, or I mean, I don't know about Iowa and Maryland, but
yeah,
Rutgers, I don't really know either. But you get 2 games against Nebraska, Northwestern, Penn State, and Minnesota. And I don't think Wisconsin's going to be that good either. And I don't know about Ohio State. We know Indiana should be really good, but I mean, there's a lot of wins there.
If you ask everybody out there, the Big Ten goes through Bloomington. So
yeah, which is just such a dumb thing to say.
Sure. 9 and what were they? 9 and 11?
7. They could have all the expectations in the world. They're still not going to win.
Yeah. Summer workout started. So, Coach Brad Underwood. I feel like I don't call him Coach now. I just call him Brad.
Yeah, you do.
A little disrespectful on my part. Yeah. So I apologize, Coach. He did say on Meyer, because we did the episode, I think the day after Meyer announced. So Brad said about him, Coach Brad said about him, quote, I think his leadership, I think his experience, his understanding of the game and IQ and style of play fits us and the way we are going to play next season. So up, down, run around, Coach Brad Underwood. He also called out Coach Chester Frazier and said he was old. Frazier went to Twitter to school RJ Melendez and then tweeted and said to send the big dogs after him next time and tag Terrence Shannon in it. So Chester Frazier still has moves. Good work. And then the last thing I got here, he said, quote, our program is at a place where we're never rebuilding. Anybody who uses that word, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Kind of like the NIL. He didn't say that, but he said we're rebuilding, we're not reloading. So Brad likes to not talk to people a lot when they say something.
That's why he doesn't talk to us.
That's true.
Yeah, I think a lot of programs are probably reloading at this point.
I think that's what you do when the portal is there, right? I mean, that's how you have to do it.
When the portal is completely out of control.
Yeah, you can't rebuild with freshmen. So you take advantage of the portal, and Illinois has done a heck of a job in the portal. So good for him. Some old timey news for the old players. we're kicking it way back. House of Pain has dropped from the TBT. Went to it last year. It was a great time. Sad to see them not in. I did see, what was that kid's name? Dom. He signed with somebody else. So I wondered if Illinois was playing in it. So they said we will see again in 2023. We'll see. Who knows? D. Brown. What can Brown do for you? He can go to Roosevelt University and get his first head coaching job. So,
I mean,
congrats,
is there a different pronunciation to that?
Anyways, okay. So this used to be, I think
Chicago.
Robert Morris and them went together to create a school, NAIA school. But congrats to D. Brown, head coach D. Brown.
Coach Brown, yes.
Coach Brown, Coach UPS. All right.
Yep.
On to the mailbag.
Quote unquote.
Everybody's here for the mailbag. You guys ready? Yeah, it's a quoted because our mailbag consists of one guy, Brandon Havrilka. I went to junior high with this guy. And now he follows the pod. He was supposed to be on our show, but we ended up doing it early. He wasn't on it, so we need to get him on here sometime. Maybe get what he thinks Illinois is going to do in the Big Ten when we do that episode later on. This is some questions he asked. We asked, what do you think of this team and how you feel about it? His thoughts through twitter.com. He said, quote, "I'm excited about this season, going to a completely fresh look team, but I truly think that this will be the best defensive team we've seen under Brad yet." He doesn't say coach either. So our offense may struggle from time to time, but I think we will be legit. I really like this comment. I even wrote down that I love this comment because there are a lot of people that are super high on Illinois, like Illinois fans, obviously. And every time I see somebody out there like, "Oh, we think Illinois, I think they're going to be awesome. I think they're going to be great." And I have told everybody, I said, I think Illinois is going to look really good at times. And there's going to be other times where you're going to want to pull your hair out because you can't stand to watch them. And I think that's what we're going to battle for a while. And I think it's going to be in the beginning. I think Coach Underwood is going to get it going. His teams always get better as the season progresses. I think by the Big Ten, they're going to be, by Big Ten play, they're going to be, at close to where they need to be. I don't know if they'll be there yet. And then by the tournament that we're going to maybe get some things happening. But so these are all questions from Brandon. We appreciate you commenting. And if anybody else has questions that's watching, feel free to ask them. Question number 1, who are you most excited to watch?
So first of all, thank you for the comments and questions and such, of course. But the other thing is, like, I'm very pessimistic about this team. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be like, I don't actually know. If you had to tell me, will this team be good? My answer is still, I don't know. Like, there's so many new pieces. It's going to be hard for me to just flat out say they'll be good, which is usually not the way I am. Like, the last couple of years, I thought they'd be great.
Right.
And they were.
But we knew what was coming with them, too.
Yeah. Well, last year, we knew Kofi and Frazier.
And that's the thing is, this team is completely new besides, Melendez, who got, 6 minutes, and Hawkins got 7 minutes. I mean, it's not like it's guys that played 15 plus minutes a game. So
I almost feel like this is better for Brad Underwood, though, I feel like the new faces makes him make, the right adjustments and right changes before the season starts rather than just kind of doing exactly what they have done the last 2 years because of Kofi. But anyway, to answer the question, I put Sky Clark because I think the amount of pressure he's going to have on him to kind of be the primary ball handler. I know this team's going to have multiple ball handlers, but I think him being the primary one as a freshman and a guy who's coming off of an injury, it's going to be a lot of pressure on him. But I think he'll be really good in that role. I don't know how good he'll be as a freshman, but I think that's the answer for me.
You think he's going to be fun to watch, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I put RJ Melendez. I'm excited to see his transition from freshman to sophomore. When he was good, he was really good. He did things that other guys on the team weren't able to do. More of a driver like Io used to be. And I hope he takes that freshman to sophomore leap. and gets that expanded playing time and everything. So I'm really excited to see what RJ can do. And I think that's I think we picked probably two of the guys everybody's most excited to watch play. But
probably yes.
Fair enough, right? The next question was, who do you think will be the leading scorer? We're going to skip this question. We do a leading scorer, leading assist, leading rebound. We do all that in our preseason kind of big show.
But the answer is Matthew Meyer.
Okay. All right.
That's the answer.
That's your answer.
I'm not going to pick the same thing, but
I know you won't. So yeah, we'll do that later on. That might be the show that we have Brandon on, and he can kind of give us what he thinks Illinois will do in the Big Ten for that. Next question: who will be the most improved player? Now we do a breakout player, but I think this is different. I think this goes from beginning of the season to the end of the season. Who progresses the most?
The problem with this is that there's only like 2 or 3 possible answers, because some of these guys, what are you improving upon if you're a freshman or if you're with another?
Well, I think you can see growth as the season goes.
I'm going to go Goody. Why not? I don't even know how much he's going to play, but Luke Goody, I guess. I feel like he's going to get more minutes than last season, and I think when he comes in, you're going to see the defense and some threes. That's about it.
I'm excited to see Goody's leadership, in a team where, you get 5-star, whatever, Sky Clark, who you expect to be the leader, and a team where last year when Goody was on the floor as a freshman, he was the leader. He seemed to get the team together and do those things. So I'm excited to see that. I did pick Coleman Hawkins for this. I think him getting more playing time, him kind of being able to more freely roam. I'm going to hate it a lot when he chucks up 7 threes a game or something silly like that. I'm going to hate it, but I think by the end of the season, he's going to be a big part of if Illinois has a chance to do something special rather than get beat first weekend. So next one, freshman of the year.
Jaden Epps.
You didn't go with Sky Clark?
Nope.
Okay.
Epps.
Also went with Jaden Epps. I just think he's going to be really good. Sky Clark still worries me with the injury and stuff. If Sky Clark gets fully healed, I guess rehabbed, like he wanted to come into Illinois, he thought that he could do that here. Then I think that Sky Clark will get that. But I'm going to go with fully healthy Jaden Epps over
Jaden Epps. Jaden Epps might lead the team in scoring. I don't know. I feel like the team leader in scoring this season is going to be 9 points. It's going to be like 12 or it's going to be low because there's so many different guys there.
I agree. And I hope that it's 10 guys scoring 14 points. We score 140 every game. So
it's very much like Villanova structure in that there's not like one guy that's way above the rest.
Yep.
In scoring. So I think that's a good thing.
Except deeper, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The next question Brandon asked was, will we win the Big Ten?
Nope.
Answer's nope. I think we got I wrote it down. I think we got as good a shot as anybody. I don't think there's a dominant team in the Big Ten this year. I think Illinois could do that. Again, I've talked about it a lot. The way this team's going to play isn't Big Ten-ish. So I think that's going to help. And I think it all depends on how quickly Coach Brad Underwood can get this team gelling together and playing together, because it is a completely new team. But playing, as we talked about, UCLA, Baylor, Virginia, Texas, the bragging rights game with Mizzou, Syracuse coming here. I don't know if that's, great, but if they don't show up to that game, they could easily get beat, and it'll be a learning thing. So I'm picking Illinois top 3. I don't know if they can win it, but I'm going to go top 3.
I'll say top 5. That's kind of the most comfortable I feel in terms of rating them. I think they could go 5-15. I think they could go 15-5.
That's fair.
I think that's the way that a lot of people on the outside view them.
Yep.
And I don't know.
Yeah. Steve says, I think this team will look like Brad is back at Stephen F. Austin and own the Big Ten again. Illinois is in the Big Ten will look like Kansas in the Big 12 as long as Brad is here.
I'd like to get like a 18-2 season under the belt first in the conference. I know that what's the record the last 2 years? 30-15. I mean, that's good, but
yeah,
that's not the right math. 30-10. Sorry.
I mean, they're the best Big Ten team in the last 2 years, 3 years.
Well,
2 years.
Don't say that to Michigan fans because they'll just bring up the tournament.
Sure.
If you're talking about solely within the Big Ten, I think that's obvious that they've been the best.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing is Brad adjusted with Kofi. Let's see him readjust back without him. We'll see how that goes.
I think they're going to be a lot like a Big 12 team playing in the Big 10. And I'm not just saying that because their two biggest additions from the portal are Big 12 guys.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be good. It'll kind of change things up because a lot of the teams in the Big 10 have played the same way. And I don't think Illinois is going to play like that. I think that's good. They don't need to rely on a 7-footer to.
Yeah. The thing is, how sloppy will they be on offense?
Very sloppy. Yeah.
So,
but they'll make up for it because they'll be able to, knock down some threes when they need to, which is something they couldn't do last season late. And they're not going to be relying on one guy to make all the threes.
True.
Which is exactly what they did last year, and then he couldn't do it when it mattered. But whatever, that's what happens when you're coming from Utah. It's not a good program. It's not all Utah's fault. It's not all Plummer's fault, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. The last question we got, the question everybody wants they want it to happen. First off, I think. Second off, Brad might be on the hot seat if he doesn't do this. Will Illinois get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament?
I wrote, that's usually how these things go, meaning that when nobody's talking about you anymore and nobody thinks you're going to do anything because you've lost the last 2 years in the tournament is when you actually make a run.
I agree.
Which is kind of a little bit like Virginia. They lost to the 16 seed, and the next season's like where everyone knows they're going to choke and they won a national title. It's kind of like that. I'm not saying Illinois is going to win a title, but I do think they'll get to the Sweet 16 this year at least. Yeah. A lot of it's draw too. I
agree. And that's what I wrote down. And I said after 2 terrible draws, I feel like Illinois will probably get a better one this year. The question is, where do they fall? I mean, if you think they're 5th in the Big Ten, are they 8th, 7th? Yeah, 7th, 8th. So that would matter too. If they're 8th, that's not a good spot to be in usually. But I'm going to say yes, this team does make the Sweet 16. Standing here right now on June 28th, give me a yes. Give me one of those. But I feel like this team is built for the tournament more than any other team. Meyer adds the experience. You have some older guys that are new to the program. You got to have some younger guys, and you have penetrators and things like that. So I think that this team is the best one built recently to go. And every year people are saying Illinois should have been in the Sweet 16. They're no good because they can't. And by I mean everybody, I mean Michigan fans. But you get the point.
Yeah. So I think the best case scenario for this team, if they're not going to be top tier, is to be like a 6 seed. Because then you're playing a 3 and nobody's scared of a 3. And you might be playing a 14. So, you know, a 6 seed would be good.
Sneak on in there.
And we know that Michigan was an 11 seed last year and beat Tennessee and Colorado State and what have you. But
so that's the mailbag, folks. The edition. If you do see us on Facebook and Twitter, feel free to go ahead and leave questions, comments, how you feel about the team, because it really helps add to the show. It fills a good 15 minutes, so we're not doing 15-minute podcasts. So, just look out for your friendly podcasters over here.
And we'll see you in October.
We'll see you in October. Have a happy 4th of July, everybody.
I don't know what we're going to do over the next month with this. I guess there could be some more stuff come out. I don't know what there would be at this point, but
I don't know.
Maybe we'll try to find somebody to come on the show or I don't know. Brad Underwood, open invitation still.
Coach Brad Underwood.
Coach Underwood.
You're welcome to come anytime.
Maybe I'll try again. I mean, now is as good a time as ever if it's not that close to the season, right?
True.
So if Brad Underwood wants to come on, that'd be good. If he doesn't, what can you do?
Maybe we can get the French guy on.
Does he speak English?
Poto Blue Souffle.
Okay, there you
go.
go.
What I said.
You said something.
Hopefully it was nothing.
Hopefully it wasn't.
Don't want to get canceled for my French.
So maybe we get, somebody like that on. I'm just trying to. We'll figure it out, I guess, because I'd like to have at least one episode in July.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to.
Yeah, I feel like once a month at least from here until we really get going. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm sure they'll come out with the Las Vegas thing in terms of the actual opponents very soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll do it for us. We'll be back, like we said, at some point within the near future. Wait, we got one more here. One more from Steve.
Go ahead.
This team is built for the spread offense. It's Canadian.
It's offensive, Steve.
And fast break scoring, top 20 team in scoring, top 5 in defense. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I like your positivity.
Yeah, he's going best case scenario, which I think would be good. And I hope that's the case. What episode is this? 115? Okay, yeah. We'll see you for 116 July at some point. Goodbye.
Later.